5.
His recent marriage to Hollywood actress Janet Jones was a storybook wedding. It's partly because of his wife that Gretzky is making the move. At the Edmonton news conference announcing the decision, the 27-year-old hockey superstar was overcome with emotion.
I truly admire all the fans and respect everyone over the years.
Gretzky, it's almost sometimes forgotten, hails from Ontario, Brantford, Ontario. And there was more than passing interest in today's announcement in that community.
The signed colors will have to be changed from the orange and blue of the Edmonton Oilers to the silver and black of the Los Angeles Kings, now that number 99 is being traded.
Now reconsider the announcement.
But I guess with delight and sincere best wishes for Wayne Gretzky, that I announce, and I guess more important, confirm that the Edmonton Oilers have agreed to trade Wayne Gretzky to Los Angeles.
I approached Mr. Pocklington and talked to Mr. Pocklington about the possibility of playing with another hockey club. And I felt at the time that in my career now, after 10 years in Edmonton, that at this point in time I was still young enough and capable enough of helping a new franchise win a Stanley Cup. I talked to Mr. McNall when Mr. Pocklington met my request and let Mr. McNall talk to me directly. And I chatted to Mr. McNall, and after spending some time with him, decided that for the benefit of Wayne Gretzky, my new wife, and our expected child in the new year, that it would be beneficial for everyone involved to let me play with the Los Angeles Kings. I'm disappointed about having to leave Edmonton. I truly admire all the fans and respect everyone over the years. But
we're all trying to do something that's good for Wayne, for the Edmonton Oilers, for the National Hockey League. We all would like to be proud of what we do to make a living. And I think you can see here today that the reason we've won 4 Stanley Cups is because of the emotion that we display for each other.
Okay, now we can get into something.
1,000 kilometers from Wayne Gretzky's press conference in Edmonton, Paul Coffey was arriving back in Toronto on a flight from Pittsburgh. Coffey played with Gretzky for 7 seasons before going to the Penguins last year. Over that period of time, the two men became close friends, and Coffey claims that Gretzky did not want to go to Los Angeles, and that the only reason he's a King today is because Oiler owner Peter Pocklington values money more than quality hockey.
The Oilers don't really treat their people all that well, and they're known to treat you almost like a little piece of meat. And I think the only people that are going to lose out on this as a whole deal is the fans of Edmonton, who have supported the Oilers and Wayne over the years, and they've got a chance now to not see the greatest hockey player in the game play, and I think they're the real losers.
You don't think Wayne was the one who wanted to leave?
I know for a fact he wasn't. I talked to him, as I said, 3 weeks ago. He called, and he was pretty upset. And I talked to him a week ago. I gave him a call to see how everything was progressing, and he was at a dilemma now, or then, that was last Thursday. He told me he'd be traded in 2 weeks. He had no choice, and, you know, we had talks about it, and I just I just said to him, you know, he's got no control over it.
While Coffey's claims about Pocklington might raise an argument, there's no doubt about the Edmonton fans being the true losers. Today, the city that only a month ago celebrated the Great One's wedding to actress Janet Jones was numb.
No, you're joking me. You're joking me. You're kidding me. You're joking.
It's the pit. Wayne is an Edmonton institution.
In Gretzky's hometown of Brantford, the concerns were more about Canada's #1 hockey commodity being exported to the United States.
We want him to stay in Canada. He's one of the Canadian boys and raised by Canada.
I think he's quite an asset to Brantford, and we're proud of him. We'd like to see him stay in Canada.
While some people have speculated that Gretzky wanted to move to Los Angeles to be with his wife, who's based there, Walter Gretzky, Wayne's father, says there's absolutely no truth to that.
He goes to L.A., it wouldn't be because of Janet, because she'll go anywhere he goes, and she'd be quite happy to be there.
When the Oilers won the Stanley Cup 2 seasons ago, it was hard to imagine Edmonton without Paul Coffey and Wayne Gretzky. Now both are gone, and a new era has begun. Only time will tell if the Oilers can again regain that past glory. Mitch Azaria for Sportsline.
So the wild days done sums it all up.
It is an unbelievable day for this franchise here. We've been trying to get a winner for 20 years, and I know Jerry Buss tried really hard, and all of a sudden Bruce McNall comes in and makes that kind of deal. It's just absolutely incredible, and I think it's going to make us an instant have a chance to win the cup now and try to go for first place, and which is a thing that we never dreamed in the past. So, I mean, it's a great day for the Los Angeles fans. We've given up a lot. I understand that, but also we're getting almost a god, you know, that is going to come in Los Angeles and really change the whole hockey system around. Now we're going to be respected around the league. We're going to be respected within the media and the fans, and everybody's going to be excited, and it's going to be really a new era for the Los Angeles Kings Hockey Club.
I don't want to try and philosophize on what's happened, because I don't think we can justify the reasons why this has happened. But we're all trying to do something that's good for Wayne, for the Edmonton Oilers, for the National Hockey League. We all would like to be proud of what we do to make a living. And I think you can see here today that the reason we've won 4 Stanley Cups is because of the emotion that we display for each other.
There's little argument that they means that for us.
There have been big moves in the past. Bobby Hull's defection to Winnipeg of the WHA in 1972, and Bobby Orr's trade from Boston to Chicago in 1976. But never has the hockey world, or for that matter the sporting world, ever dreamt of a deal like today's. When Orr and Hull made their moves, they were considered on the downside of their careers. Gretzky, although he's been playing for 9 years, is only 27 years old.
If he's going to L.A., regardless of who they take in trade, Wayne Gretzky will uplift that team like you wouldn't believe at the age of 27, and hopefully I hope he plays a lot longer.
Vidali has known Gretzky since the two men signed the Great One's first pro contract in 1978. He's surprised by the trade. However, he knew that relations between Gretzky and the Oilers had been strained.
But I feel over the last 2 or 3 years that it was justifiable for him at that period of time to maybe want to move from Edmonton on certain things that aren't publicized on how he was being treated in Edmonton.
I've always looked at, and this, of course, this is my own personal feelings, that the trade is when you have trade one player for another player, or 3 players for one player, or 1 player for 3 players. But as soon as money becomes involved, why then I feel that you've been sold, period. That's not a trade, it's just you've been sold.
Less than a month ago, the entire city of Edmonton came out to watch Gretzky marry actress Janet Jones. Now, less than 30 days later, their favorite son is now a distant Smythe Division cousin. In the 9 years Gretzky has been in the NHL, he's shattered almost every scoring record. He's won 25 postseason trophies and is arguably the best hockey player ever. Perhaps the most ironic and overlooked aspect of this trade is that Canada's #1 son, the man who single-handedly reminded Canada and the rest of the world that hockey is a Canadian game, is moving to the United States. And not just any state, but Los Angeles, California, the glitzy glamour capital of the world. In Toronto, Mitch Azaria for Sportsline.
Pocklington.
Egomaniac part didn't bother me a whole lot because I understand where he's coming from on that. He's a very positive man. He's a very upbeat person. He's got that he can do anything attitude, and one of the things he always said to me, he says, "I love your confidence." He says, "I really admire that in you." So I kind of knew where he was coming from on that. He was kind of trying to say I was a very confident person, and I accepted his apology on that. The acting part, the theatrical part at the press conference is the part that has me bothered, and has the part that really sticks in my craw. There's no excuse for that. It was absolutely, my emotion was not for her not having to work for that hockey club anymore. My emotion was the fact that I was leaving some good friends in the city, the fans, which have been treated me almost like a relationship as a best friend. And most of all, and most importantly, my teammates, the guys who I grew up with. It killed me to have to say it was done, it was over. For him to say that was theatrical, that really ate at me.
Is this the best deal for Wayne Gretzky? Knowing what some of those rumors were, could you have benefited more? Maybe not lived in Los Angeles, but you personally, an owner of a junior hockey team already, might you have been an owner somewhere else in the National Hockey League? Had you agreed to a deal?
Yeah, I could have been other places. I've had opportunities to be part owner of other hockey clubs. But, again, it wasn't, and it's not really worth saying because people take in context that I didn't like the city or didn't like the team. That wasn't the case. I had a great, comfortable position where I was. A Stanley Cup champion. I made a lot of money. I had a great supporting cast, and I really loved the city. And I just felt if I was going to be moving, then I wanted to go where I felt was best, not only for myself, but everyone around me. And, I'm married and I'm going to have a child, and I feel that for my child's sake, this would be a great place to raise a child.
One of the great journalists in Canada who you've been associated with in many different ways, Jim Taylor from Vancouver, said it was a great trade for the Kings, a great trade for the Edmonton Oilers, but not a good deal for Wayne Gretzky.
Well, as I said at the press conference, I'm close to Jim Taylor. He's been a great man to me, and he's always been upfront to me. How can it be a good deal when you leave the best team in the world, other than maybe the Soviet national team? How can it be a good deal? But in the long run, I think it's going to benefit Wayne Gretzky, and I think in a number of areas. I think one, with the other two guys coming with me, I can bring a winning attitude to the locker room. Two, I think I can help the hockey club on the ice with the other two guys. Three, I think it'll be good for hockey, as Jim Taylor said. And most importantly, four, I think it's going to be great for my family. It's going to be great to be able to leave the arena, go do what I want to do, not be under a microscope of 400,000 or 500,000 people, and I look forward to that most of all.
A lot of people talk in terms of the new uniforms the Los Angeles Kings wear. The big, bad, and ugly Los Angeles Raiders wear those same colors, silver and black. Wayne Gretzky, the ultimate good guy. How do you feel about putting on that uniform?
I'm excited. My junior team in Hull is the exact same colors. I think that colors mean a lot in professional sports, and I think that black makes you look bigger and more intimidating. And let's face it, purple and yellow just doesn't cut it. We're looking forward to everything. The new uniforms, the new system, the new camp. I can't wait. This is going to be probably the most exciting year for me in the last while. We got a big challenge. I mean, let's face it, we're not the Oilers and we're not the Flames, but we're gonna be fine.